Hello, my friends. Welcome to this English learning podcast. My name is David, and I am very happy that you are here with me today. In this podcast, we will not only learn English, but also talk about life, feelings, and how to live in a better way. I will speak slowly and clearly so you can understand everything. And I will use easy English so that you can enjoy learning. Today, I want to talk about something very common in life. Something that many people feel but do not always talk about. It is the feeling of being lost. Have you ever felt like you are doing everything right, but still inside your heart feels empty? Have you ever felt like life is moving forward, but you are standing still, not knowing where to go? If yes, then this podcast is for you. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, go to work, talk to people, and smile. But deep inside we feel that something is not right. It feels like we are on autopilot, just living life without real purpose. I remember a time when I felt exactly like that. I had a stable job. I had people around me, but still. One morning I sat in my car before work, and I did not want to move. I asked myself, is this it? Is this how the next 10 years will feel? That question hit me very hard. Maybe you have also asked yourself these questions. Am I walking on the right path? Am I really doing what I love? Or am I just doing what others expect me to do? These questions can be very heavy, but they are also very important. Because sometimes the feeling of being lost is not the end of our story. Sometimes it is the beginning of something new. When I felt lost, it was like walking inside a huge maze. Every turn I took gave me more confusion. And the worst part was that people around me looked like they had everything figured out. They looked like they had maps in their hands, but I had nothing. That made me feel even more confused. But later, I understood something important. Feeling lost can be painful, but it can also be powerful. Because that pain is sometimes the wake-up call that tells us something must change. When you start asking yourself, wait, what am I doing? Why am I here? That is the start of clarity. That is the first step to a new direction. You see, sometimes we go off course not because we make bad choices, but because we listen too much to other people. Parents, teachers, friends, society, even strangers online. Everyone has an opinion. They say, study this, work there, live like this. And slowly, without noticing, we stop hearing our own voice. We stop listening to our heart. But inside us, we all have a compass. A compass is like a guide that shows the right direction. For us, that compass is our heart, our instinct, our gut feeling. But if that compass moves even a little away from the right direction, then, after a long time, we find ourselves very far from where we wanted to be. That is what happened to me. I studied something I did not love, just because it sounded impressive. Later, I had the degree. But no passion, only confusion and regret. That is why it is very important to check in with yourself. Ask yourself simple questions. Am I doing this because I really want to? Or am I doing this because I think I am supposed to? There's a very big difference between these two. The loudest voice in your life should be your own. But after you find your voice, something else will come. Uncertainty. Uncertainty means not knowing what will happen next. And many people are afraid of uncertainty. We all want plans. We want answers. We want control. When we don't know the future, we feel nervous. But here is the truth. Uncertainty is not always bad. Sometimes it is a gift. It gives us space to think, to explore, to learn about what really matters. I remember when I left my job. I did not have another job waiting for me. I only had that strong feeling that the place I was in was not right for me. Many people thought I was crazy. To be honest, I also thought so. But in the months after that, I had so much growth. I read books. I walked in nature. I learned new things. Slowly, I found a new direction. That is the good thing about uncertainty. When nothing is fixed, you become curious again. You try new things. You listen more. Yes, it is scary, but it is also magical. It is the space between the old and the new. So if you are feeling unsure about your life right now, it is okay. You don't have to have all the answers. Just stay open, stay curious, and trust that something new is unfolding, even if you cannot see it right now. After you accept that it is okay to not know everything, the next step is to look inward. Do not only look at your to-do list or at the expectations of others. Look at your values. Values are the things that really matter to you in life. They can be very simple. For some people, values are family, kindness, freedom, health, learning, or peace. If you are feeling lost, it may be because you walked away from your values without realizing it. That happened to me too. I was so busy trying to be productive that I stopped doing things that made me feel alive. I stopped writing. I stopped spending time with close friends. Later, I realized that I had moved away from the things that made me me. When you reconnect with your values, something changes. You may still feel unsure, but now at least you are walking in a direction that feels true to your heart. And once you know what matters to you, you don't need to make big changes all at once. Start small. Big change usually does not happen in one day. It happens step by step, little by little. For example, when I was feeling stuck, I told myself, just write one sentence today. Sometimes my goal was only to take a 10-minute walk. That's it. Even something so small gave me a sense of progress. And progress, no matter how small, builds confidence. It builds momentum. Many people think change must be big, but small wins move us forward day by day. Even saying one English sentence out loud each morning can change your energy. So if you feel stuck, don't wait for a huge breakthrough. Start with one small, easy action today and let it grow from there. Of course, even when you are doing your best, some days will still be hard. That is why support is important. Having people around you can make a big difference. I remember when I felt lost, one of the best things I did was talk to a friend. I told him honestly how I was feeling. I felt awkward, but he just listened. He did not try to fix me. He just understood me, and that made me feel lighter. Sometimes, just knowing that someone sees you and understands you is enough. It can be a friend, a teacher, a mentor, or even an online community. Support makes you stronger. And when you share your journey with someone, you also feel more responsible. You start showing up not only for yourself, but also because someone out there believes in you. So, if you are listening to me right now, and you are feeling alone, please reach out, send a message, make a call. You are not weak for asking for help. In fact, you are strong because you are taking that step. Even small steps like this matter. When you take even a small step, it deserves a little celebration. We often think we should only celebrate when we reach a big goal, like getting a promotion, buying a house, or achieving something big. But what about the small victories? What about those quiet moments when you kept going, even when you wanted to give up? These small moments matter too. I remember a time when I felt very low. Just getting out of bed was difficult for me. But one morning I said to myself, today I will get up, drink water, and take a short walk. And I did it. It looked like nothing to others, but to me, it was a victory. That small step gave me the strength to keep moving the next day. Many times, we remember our mistakes so clearly. We remember when we failed, when we made bad choices, or when things went wrong. But we often forget the brave moments, the times we tried again, the times we made progress, even if it was small. That is why I suggest you take time to notice your small wins. One way that helped me was writing a simple lost and found journal. On one side of the page, I wrote down the moments when I felt lost, confused, or unsure. On the other side, I wrote down what I learned from those moments, or what I discovered during that time. Later, when I looked back, I realized something amazing. I was not as lost as I thought. I was actually growing. This is important to understand. Even when life feels like a big mess, it is still your journey. The wrong turns, the mistakes, the detours, they are all part of the road that makes you wiser and stronger. You don't have to be ashamed of them. They are not wasted time. They are lessons. So today, I invite you to look at your own story. Think about one moment in your life when you felt lost. Ask yourself, what did I find in that moment? Maybe you found patience. Maybe you discovered a friend who supported you. Maybe you found the courage to start again. These things are worth celebrating, even if they look small to others. Celebration does not always mean fireworks or a big party. It can be as simple as giving yourself a smile, taking a deep breath, or telling yourself, I did it. And that is enough. These little celebrations remind us that we are moving forward, even if the steps are small. You see, life is not a straight line. It is full of ups and downs, full of turns and changes. Sometimes you feel strong, sometimes weak. Sometimes clear, sometimes lost. And that is okay. You are human! Feeling lost does not mean you are failing. It just means you are in a stage of growth. When I look back at my own journey, I see that the times I felt most lost were the times that pushed me to grow the most. If I never felt lost, I would never have asked myself important questions. I would never have changed direction. I would never have learned new things. So in a strange way, being lost was a gift, even if it felt painful at the time. Another important thing to remember is this: you are not alone. Many people around you have also felt lost at some point in their lives. They may not always talk about it, but almost everyone has faced that confusing feeling. Some people feel lost in their jobs. Some feel lost in their studies. Some feel lost in their relationships. And some feel lost just trying to understand who they are. So, if you are feeling lost, please remember, it is not only you. You are not strange. You are not broken. You are simply human. And humans go through these seasons. What can help during these seasons is kindness. I don't just mean kindness to others, but kindness to yourself. Many times we are too hard on ourselves. We say things like, why am I not good enough? Why can't I figure this out? Why am I so behind? But imagine if a close friend came to you with these feelings. Would you say such harsh words to them? No. You would probably say, it's okay. You are trying your best. You will find your way. So why not say the same to yourself? When I was learning to be kind to myself, I started with very small actions. I told myself, it's okay to rest today. Or, it's okay to take things slow. This soft voice inside me gave me more energy to keep moving. Kindness creates space for growth. When you stop attacking yourself with negative words, you open the door for new possibilities. You start believing in yourself again. You start trusting your journey again. Another thing that helps is curiosity. Instead of saying, I don't know what to do, and that is bad, try asking, I don't know what to do, but what can I explore? Curiosity makes the unknown less scary. For example, maybe you don't know your future career. Instead of stressing, you can try small things. Read about new topics. Join a short class. Talk to someone in a different field. Each small step teaches you something, even if it does not give you the final answer right away. Curiosity also helps in learning English. Many learners say, I am not fluent yet, so I feel bad. But what if you said, I am not fluent yet, but I am curious. Let me watch one English video. Let me learn one new word. Let me try speaking one sentence. This way, you enjoy the process instead of only worrying about the result. Step by step, curiosity builds confidence. And confidence gives you courage to keep trying, even when you feel unsure. And speaking of courage, sometimes courage looks very small. It is not always big and loud. Sometimes courage is just showing up. Courage is saying hello to someone new. Courage is trying to speak English, even if you make mistakes. Courage is taking one small step when you are afraid. So if today you are listening to me and you feel lost, I want to tell you this: you already have courage. The fact that you are here, listening, learning, and growing, that itself is courage. You did not give up. You are still moving. That is something to be proud of. You see, life is not about never feeling lost. Life is about what you do when you feel lost. Do you give up? Or do you keep moving step by step, even if you cannot see the full road? The second option is the one that will lead you to growth. And let me share one more idea with you. Progress is progress no matter how small. Maybe today you learned one new English word. Maybe today you walked for 10 minutes. Maybe today you drank enough water. Maybe today you smiled even when it was hard. All these things are small, but together they build a strong future. So please don't wait for a huge moment to feel proud of yourself. Notice the little moments. They are the building blocks of your life. Now, my friends, let us talk about support again. Because it is one of the most powerful things when you feel lost. Many times, we try to fight our battles alone. We hide our feelings because we think people will not understand, or we think they will judge us. But the truth is, sharing how you feel can open new doors of healing. I remember when I was going through a difficult time. I kept everything inside me. I smiled on the outside, but inside I was struggling. One day, I decided to share my feelings with a close friend. At first, I was nervous. I thought maybe he would laugh at me or think I was weak. But he did not. He listened carefully. He nodded and he said, "I understand. I have also felt like that." Just hearing those words gave me so much comfort. I realized I was not alone. That is the power of connection. Sometimes people cannot fix your problems, but just their presence and their understanding can give you new strength. So, if you are struggling right now, think of one person you trust. Maybe a family member, a teacher, a friend, or even someone online who inspires you. Share one honest sentence with them. You don't have to tell them everything, just one sentence. That small action can make you feel lighter. And remember, asking for help does not make you weak. It makes you strong, because it shows you are brave enough to reach out. It shows you want to keep moving. Support also gives us accountability. When we share our goals with someone, we feel more responsible to keep going. For example, if you tell your friend, "I will try to practice English 5 minutes each day," you will feel more motivated because you know someone believes in you. That little push can make a big difference. So don't isolate yourself. Don't stay alone in silence. Find your circle of support, no matter how small. It could be one person or a small group, but it will give you energy. Now let us come back to the idea of celebration. Life is not only about big achievements. It is also about recognizing the small milestones. A milestone means an important step, even if it looks small. For example, the first time you write in your journal, the first time you speak in English without fear, the first time you choose kindness for yourself. That is a milestone. I remember I started a simple practice. Every night before sleeping, I wrote down one small thing I did well that day. Sometimes it was very small, like I smiled at a stranger, or I learned one new word. At first it felt silly, but after some time I saw how powerful it was. I stopped focusing only on what I did wrong. I started seeing what I did right. That changed my perspective. Perspective means the way we see things. When we change our perspective, we can turn pain into learning. For example, if you fail a test, you can see it as proof that you are not smart. Or you can see it as a chance to understand what you need to practice more. Both are perspectives, but one makes you feel small, and the other helps you grow. When I felt lost, I used to think, I am behind. I am not good enough. I don't know what to do. That perspective made me heavy and sad. But later I asked myself, what if being lost is not the end of my story, but the beginning of a new chapter? That perspective gave me hope. Suddenly, being lost was not a curse, but an opportunity. So, my friend, maybe today you feel lost. But what if this is the turning point? What if this is the moment where you start listening to your true voice, where you start following your values, where you start taking small steps to a better future? The truth is, nobody has life completely figured out. We are all learning, all growing, all changing. Some people look confident, but inside they also feel uncertain. The difference is, some people keep moving even when they don't know the full path. And that is what makes life meaningful. I want to remind you again, it is okay to not have all the answers. It is okay to take things slowly. It is okay to make mistakes. Mistakes do not mean failure. They mean you are trying. And trying is always better than standing still. Think of a baby learning to walk. The baby falls many times, But does anyone say, this baby is a failure? No. Everyone cheers, claps, and says, you can do it! We celebrate the effort, not only the result. In the same way, celebrate your efforts. Celebrate every time you try, every time you move, every time you learn. Another important idea is patience. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Learning takes time. In today's world, we want everything fast. But real change is slow and steady. Like a plant, you cannot pull it to make it grow faster. You must water it, give it sunlight, and wait. The same is true for you. Be patient with yourself. Your time will come. And while you wait, keep doing the small actions. Read one page. Write one line. Speak one sentence. Walk 10 minutes. Smile once. These things look small, but they add up. One day, you will look back and realize you have come very far. So if you are listening to me right now, I want to leave you with this message. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are simply on a journey. Sometimes the road feels clear. Sometimes it feels foggy. But every step you take is part of your growth. Please, don't compare your journey with others. Everyone has their own time, their own story, their own lessons. Someone may reach success quickly, but you may take a longer road. That is okay. Your story is still valuable. Your story still matters. If today you only did one small positive thing, be proud of that. If today you only listened to this podcast, that itself is progress. Because it means you care about yourself. You care about learning, and you care about growing. And that is beautiful. So, my dear friends, remember these things. Feeling lost is not the end. It can be the beginning. Small steps create big changes. Support makes you stronger. Celebrate your milestones, even the small ones. Be kind to yourself and patient with your journey. Stay curious, keep exploring, and trust the process. Take a deep breath right now. Smile softly. Tell yourself, I am still on my way, and that is enough. Because it really is enough. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope my words gave you comfort and hope. And I also hope you learned some English naturally through this talk. Keep practicing, keep moving, and keep being gentle with yourself. I am proud of you for being here, for listening, and for choosing to grow. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and keep going step by step. Goodbye, my friends.